Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Sunday Tea with Force. Although it's probably Monday by the time you see this, because I didn't want to upload this video in the middle of the night because no one's there to watch it. This is a questions and answers series where you guys ask me questions and I answer them, and you can do so on Twitter. I'll typically be asking at some point in the week. You guys have questions for my Sunday Tea with Force. Usually it's just Sunday morning, although this upcoming week, for the next episode, I'm probably going to ask it a little bit earlier, like on Wednesday or Thursday, so keep your eyes peeled for that on Twitter. Let's go ahead and jump into the questions, but first some tea. My nose is runny. I got a bunch of tea for Christmas, which is awesome. Hope you guys all had a fantastic holiday. It's actually a brand new year. It's been a year since the last one of these. I got some, what is this? Wazotsky tea? This is blood orange and mandarin, or blood mandarin and I don't know, something. Pretty good. I like it. I'm so used to just having green tea, so I'm gonna try to expand my palate. But we're actually not here to talk about tea. That's just the gimmick. We're here to answer questions. All right, our first question here coming from Enzo Creed, who says, "Force, what games are you excited for in 2015? And of those, which ones are you gonna make videos for?" Oh my goodness, there's a handful of games that I can think of off the top of my head. Number one, obviously, The Witcher 3. No Man's Sky, I'm really looking forward to, and that's a game that I'm most likely going to do some video coverage of. I'm just looking forward to the possibilities behind No Man's Sky. What about that? Isn't that Warhammer MMO supposed to be coming out with Warhammer 40k Eternal Crusade or something? Isn't that supposed to be a thing? What else? There's so many games. Bloodborne is supposed to be a thing. The Dun Dragon. Well, no, that's not the word. Dark Souls type game. I don't know. There's a ton of games, and frankly, I can't tell you which ones I'll be covering here on the channel because I never know ahead of time which games I'm actually going to be into. As much as I talk about how I'm excited and looking forward to things, once I sit down with something, I never know until I sit down with it. I never know if it's actually something I'm going to spend a bunch of time with, and subsequently something that I'll cover. Although I'm going to try to do, one of my New Year's resolutions is to try to have a more wide range of coverage here in the channel, even if it's just first impressions or Force impressions. A follow-up question here from Kello Pudgero says, "When will you play something regularly besides Hearthstone and HOTS?" And I wanted to answer this one following that one, because it's one of those things where I just don't know. But I am going to be trying to make more of an effort, as I just said, to have a wider range of coverage, even if it's just brief coverage of things. But the truth is, yeah, my channel has been predominantly like Blizzard stuff for a while now, and that's just by virtue of that's what I happen to play. It's, oh, Blizzard fanboy, I'm shill selling. No, it's just I happen to like Blizzard games. I like the formula that they use, and maybe it's because it's dumbed down for the masses, and that's just the kind of man that I am. But there's just some Blizzard games have always been a part of me. They're a part of my childhood growing up, playing the original StarCraft, playing Diablo 1 and 2, playing the Warcraft games, and that carried over into adulthood. And I've always enjoyed their games, despite their flaws, because no one's perfect. No one makes a perfect video game. Some would argue with that, but yeah, despite their flaws, I've always overall enjoyed Blizzard titles, and right now just playing a crap ton of them. But it's probably it'll change at some point. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll be a Blizzard fanboy till I die. Question here from Melt, who says, "What's the last game your girlfriend played?" I don't know. I think she used to play Farmville or something. She's not a girl. She's not a gamer at all. That's quite fine, because frankly, I got my fill of games every single day. I don't usually, when I'm done with working and just playing like for my own sake, I'm done with video games. I get enough as it is. I don't need that to carry over in other aspects of my life. So yeah, I don't know. Chris Spencer says, "What is your favorite GVG card in Hearthstone so far?" Dr. Boom is pretty darn awesome. Unstable Portal is also pretty darn awesome. Sneasel Shredder can be kind of... There's just a lot of fun cards. Although, I'll tell you what, I will say this about GVG. Going into it, I was like, oh, the metagame's going to change so much. I'm seeing a lot of the same decks with like 3 cards different now. We've got like the Antique Handlock. I guess the Mech Mage thing is a fairly new Although it does play off of the aggro mage that we've seen. Although isn't the mech mage a little more board control? I don't know enough about Hearthstone to really be talking about these things. What I will say is that whenever I jump into streams to check out what people are playing at the top end of the meta, so when I make a video, I'll just try one of those decks and have some fun with it. It generally is about the same thing. Like, we're still seeing handlocks, we're still seeing control warrior, we're still seeing a Zoolock. Like, all these basic things are still here, but just changed up a little bit. I don't know what it's gonna take to just completely smash some of that stuff into the ground, or maybe it'll never be the case, because frankly, this is funny actually. These are general sort of themes for the different heroes. If you look at a game like Magic, while what is in it will change over time, and that's just gonna happen with Hearthstone as more time goes on, general archetypes of the colors in Magic, which would be relating to the classes in Hearthstone, they're the same over time. You always see the white weenie, you always see blue and white control, you always see sort of red rushdown and burn. Like, these general themes have been consistent across Magic for as long as I've played, and maybe there will always be Zoolock and there will always be Control Warrior just by virtue of the classes. Yeah, maybe that stuff's never going to go away, and if that's what you're looking for, I don't know if more cards is going to change it. I have no idea. Silver Taurus asks, do you think it's possible to enjoy MMOs without high-end goals in mind? I raid in WoW, so I can even enjoy grind, but other MMO? This is a funny question. Lots of people would tell you no. That you don't really get an MMO, or you can't truly enjoy an MMO, which is stupid for people to tell you what you can enjoy. But they'll say, unless you're playing the end game, what are you doing? But frankly, some of my fondest MMO memories in recent years have been from ones that I haven't spent a ton of time in the end game. Specifically, the ones I can think of are Star Wars: The Old Republic and Guild Wars 2. Both games, I absolutely loved the leveling experience, the way they handle storytelling, the way the zones were, things like that. SWTOR in particular, I loved the leveling process of it. In that game, I did get to max level, and I did do a little bit of the dungeon stuff and a little bit of the PvP. But in Guild Wars 2, that's also a game that I've got very fond memories of, and I'll still hop in from time to time. I haven't even hit max level in Guild Wars 2. I know, I'm a scrub, but I love the art design so much in that game, the way the world is sort of laid out for you, and even the way like the map comes up and the paint strokes and everything that they do with that, I think looks great, and I just liked it. I liked it a lot. So yeah, I would say that even if you're not raiding in an MMO, you can still enjoy it. But perpetually, I don't know. But for me, the times that I spent with those two games, I did really enjoy. Ooh, that's getting strong. I don't think I'm supposed to leave the tea bag in that thing. Oh well. Allison Livio says, send a hug to your Brazilian fans. Thanks, Brazil. Blair asked, do you play board games at all, or heard of Will Wheaton's tabletop program? I have heard of it and seen videos of that. My experience with board games is very limited by virtue of the fact that the games that I've been playing my entire life have primarily been video games and card games, specifically Magic the Gathering. Like, those are the two things that I did as a child, into high school, into college. Those are just, that's the corner of geekdom that I've always focused all of my energies in. But I think I could enjoy board games, except for Monopoly. I hate playing Monopoly. It takes forever, and it's not even fun. I don't get it. I don't get why people like Monopoly, I'm sorry. Even though I've never really been into board games, I think I could enjoy them. I definitely think I would enjoy like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. Sounds like something that I would like. That's my kind of thing. But I don't know, there's only so much time in the day, and if you find what you like, you play it. I'll try new things, so maybe I'll try that tabletop thing. Well, I love how I say, yeah, maybe I'll just decide that I'm invited to that. Yeah, okay. No. Scott Grassick says, Warlords of Draenor pulled me back in as well, where Kata and Mop didn't. What WoW needs, though, is good PvE streamers, as most are PvP. And then he goes on to say, there should be more PvE streamers. Why don't you stream your raids? I don't know. I think the thing with PvE streamers is, unless you're on the cutting edge of progression, it's the same thing everyone's already seen. Like, even people who have gone through LFR probably don't want to watch too many like heroic runs when they could be watching the mythic runs. Now, I'm interested in getting into mythic raiding. In fact, I'm in talks with some guilds and I might be able to start doing that. But I'm not going to be like world firsting that stuff, because I don't put in I put in a lot of time, but not that much time. Nor do I have the sort of connections and network with people who are like that amazingly good. So I just don't see the point in streaming my heroic stuff, because I don't think people will really want to watch it unless I'm just goofing off. But usually I'm actually kind of serious in that stuff. And it turned into a little bit of a jerk. You don't want to see that. Lionheart says, hey Dennis, what are you usually doing in your free time when you're not working on YouTube? P.S. You're great, love me. Okay, great. That's great. What am I usually doing when I'm not working on YouTube? I'm kind of still just sitting at my desk playing video games. Beyond that, there's a lot of stuff I like to do. I just don't get around to doing it. I think I talked about this in the past. I am not a good allocator of my free time. I think part of working from home makes me always feel like there's more stuff that I could be doing too, even if it's just slightly related to work, like spending more time on a game for an upcoming video, for example, trying to get more footage, whatever. I need a better separation between me time and stuff related to what I do for a living. There needs to be like a wall there that isn't there right now. They're both pretty much the same thing, which pretty much means I'm like just sitting here in this chair all day. It's not good. I at least need to stand up every once in a while. You know what? I'm going to stand up right now. I need to stretch my legs. 1 second. All right, there we go. Thank you for reminding me. I've been sitting here already for too long. And our last and final question coming from Maria Akins. What's a good video/audio editing software for YouTube starting my own? I love these questions. I love to hear that people are trying to get into this. Or every once in a while I'll have someone say, oh, you've inspired me to start my own YouTube channel. And then they'll ask me stuff like this. So this is fantastic. Video and audio editing software. Well, in terms of video recording stuff, I have been using Fraps pretty much since I started. I know there's probably better stuff out there right now. OBS, DX Story, there's the Shadow Play thing. There's a bunch of different footage recording software that you can get. OBS is a great one because it's free. It's open broadcaster software or whatever it's called. So that's probably a good starting point. I just happen to use Fraps. Again, it's simply by virtue of that's what I'm most comfortable with, and that's what I've been using for so very long. And audio does also come from that. You can record the game and the audio footage at the same time. Beyond that, for audio, I actually am using a lot of Audacity, which you're going to see that going... Oh, you can't see it. 1 second. So that's this going right in the background in this on my second screen. You can see my voice stuff happening there. It's awesome. It's free. It records your voice. It's going to capture anything directly from a microphone that's plugged into your computer. It's great. It's great. It really has never let me down. I don't think I've ever had an instance where I've lost stuff, and I think even if you do, there's backup footage, and that's a concern when you're recording video and audio. The possibility of programs crashing, files getting corrupted and stuff. I don't think I've ever had a problem with Audacity, not one that I can think of right now. But yeah, that's what I use for audio and video. And a tip that I would give you too is that if you're getting into recording gameplay footage, you want to make sure you've got a couple of hard drives in your computer, because you don't want to record to the same drive that you're playing from. And ideally, you want an OS, a game drive, and a recording footage drive. So I've got 3 hard drives in my computer, an SSD for my OS, and then two hard drives, one that stores all my games and one that records from. When you try to play a game while also running an OS and then recording on that same single drive, that's going to cause some issues. But there's also, again, I mentioned I use Fraps. There are different video recording software out there that actually try to get around that problem so that people don't need to purchase 3 drives. But it's best for what I do, especially with how much I'm constantly writing and rewriting over stuff. Yeah. But yeah, that's that. And with that, my friends, we're going to wrap up this episode of Sunday Tea with Force. Thank you so much for watching this Q&A video. As I mentioned, this week I'm going to be asking for questions a bit earlier than usual, probably sometime on Wednesday or Thursday. So if you follow me on Twitter, you can respond to that tweet that I send out, and then I'll answer some of those questions here. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic day. I will see you next Sunday. I'm gonna try to make sure. It's been a couple of weeks, but I'm gonna try to make sure this is a bit more of a consistent series. Happy New Year again. If you guys have New Year's resolutions, I guess you can tell me about those. That's interesting. Yeah, tell me about those. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. I'm gonna drink some more of this tea. I think it's blood orange and mandarin. No, it's not. I don't remember what it's called. I'm sorry. I'm a terrible salesperson.